So welcome back to the Discovery series in day 2 of part 1. Now yesterday we were looking at this idea of noting or labelling, so clearly distinguishing what it is that distracts us from the breath. And in labelling, in noting, we create just a little bit more space between us and the experience. So in fact, researchers have found that when people do this, they can decrease the intensity of the feeling or emotion by as much as even 50%. So clearly something is happening here when we create just a little bit more distance between ourselves and the feeling. Now it helps if you don't identify too much with the distraction. So it's very tempting when you're noting a thought, for example, to think, oh, I was thinking about such and such. But rather than doing that, try if you can simply to note, thinking, okay, and come back to the breath. Or if it's a physical sensation, to think, yeah, okay, that's a physical, that's a feeling, and to come back to the breath. By doing that, you start to, again, create a little bit more space between you and the feeling, you and the thought, and so you're not so inclined to get caught up in it. So we'll work just a little bit more with that today. Again, I'll lead you through the exercise as we go. To begin with, just getting comfortable, eyes open, a nice soft gaze, just aware of the space around you in the room. Taking a few deep breaths. And with the next out breath, just gently closing the eyes, allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm, in and out through the nose. As you become aware of the weight of the body, physical points of contact, remember it's not thinking about the feeling, it's simply being aware and present with the sensation. Noticing any sounds, any strong smells. Just bringing the mind into the physical senses. And then just bringing the attention back to the body. In your own time, having become aware of how the body's feeling today. Starting at the top of the head, just gently scanning down, all the way down to the toes. And remember, it's not thinking about the feeling, it's simply being aware of the feeling. And at the same time, just starting to notice the emotional quality of the mind today. As you just pause momentarily, just to be clear about why you're doing what you're doing. To remind yourself of who those people are around you who get to benefit from you being a happier, healthier, perhaps even kinder person as a result of doing the exercise each day. And as always, just remembering that it's not about trying to do something, trying to achieve something. In fact, it's quite the reverse. It's about stepping back and just allowing a process to unfold. So with that in mind, without trying to breathe in any special way, just becoming aware of the rising and falling sensation of the breath in the body. Noticing where in the body you feel it and the rhythm of the breath. And then just slowly beginning to count the breaths as they pass. And simply in focusing on the breath, becoming more aware of that connection between the body and the mind. And remembering to note or label what it is has distracted you from that physical sensation of the breath rising and falling in the body. Or whether it's thinking, or whether it's feeling a physical sensation. And remember, as you do note, as you do label, not identifying with it, not thinking of it as my back or my leg, not thinking about it as my thought, simply noting it as thinking or feeling, and then gently bringing the attention back to the breath again. So just continue in that way now. And then just for a moment, letting go of any focus, letting go of any attention, letting the mind wander off and do whatever it wants to do. And then bringing the attention back to the body again, back to that feeling of weight, the contact of the body pressing against the chair, of the feet on the floor, and of the hands and the arms just resting on the legs. Take a moment to notice any sounds. And in your own time now, you can just gently open the eyes. As always, just taking a moment to refocus as you're clear about where you're going next, what it is you're going to do. And just making that intention to carry that awareness with you, particularly the awareness of physical sensation or of bodily movement throughout the day today. And when you're ready, just leaning back in the chair, having a stretch if you'd like to, and just reflecting on how you got on yesterday with that idea of being more aware of your body, your position of your body, whether you were aware of walking when you were walking, whether you were aware of sitting when you were sitting, and in particular, whether you were aware of that transition from sitting to standing and from standing to sitting. So don't worry if you weren't. Very often people find this so difficult that they don't even manage to catch it once throughout the entire day. In fact, they even forget to be aware of it when they stand up at the end of the meditation or when they sit down at the start of the meditation. So really try, if you can, to be aware as often as possible of that change in position throughout the day. Remember, the more aware and present you are in the body, the less you're going to be caught up in thought. And ultimately, over time, the less busy the mind will feel. Which is why tomorrow, when you come back, we're going to focus very much more on the physical sensations throughout the meditation, so that the mind is more